So this is Believe in Buckeyes, man. We're gonna dive right into some of these third downs against our defense. Obviously, we would say our defense. To be frank, they didn't show up. 500 yards offense is definitely not good enough. But man, we want to talk about third down. Obviously, that's one of the most important plays in football. Defense has to get off the field. I think for the day, Oregon was 6 of 14, which is not. I don't know what goals are defensively. Chin, what's the goal? I know on offense the goal is always 50%. What's the defensive goals? You got a
Yeah,
number?
I honestly don't
You don't
remember.
remember?
I think I definitely don't want them to be at 50%, lower than 50%.
Yeah, that's for sure. 50% is, like I say, it was a goal, so it's kind of outstanding. But here, though, we talk about second down, right? So this is this second, third down of the game
Yeah,
here.
second, third down.
Ohio State gets the stop, so we win on this third down. But I think it's interesting to call out is how fast Oregon gets this snap off. They kind of do a quick count here. They run the ball on second down. And within 11 seconds, we have a sub, but within 11 seconds, they're snapping the ball. And then, be honest, our defense is not prepared. They're still looking for the sideline and very slow in getting off the line of scrimmage, right?
Yeah, calls not in. You can see. I think that's Sonny Styles who's turning around, still giving calls to the corners, trying to get him in the right play call. Fortunately for Ohio State, right, they were able to rally and go make this tackle. Oregon tried to quick snap and get him caught off guard, but I mean the play wasn't there for him. At 3rd and 9, you like your odds on 3rd and 9, 3rd and long, 3rd and 8+. You like your odds, and I think that's going to be kind of a theme throughout this game is how Ohio State handled 3rd down, where they actually were in an advantage, 3rd and long situations. This first one was solid. They look like they're in some type of cover 2. They end up in like a cover 2. They're playing coverage and not giving a lot of pressure. I typically like pressure on 3rd down. And I'm gonna talk about why a little bit later on. But first drive, you're not trying to give up nothing big. They get the stop.
What we have right here is the first mistake when it comes to Ohio State in this Oregon game. Obviously, we score on our first drive. Our defense goes out there, gives up a first down, but get the balls back to it as we just kind of broke down that third play that we won. But from here, we have a mistake, and Oregon kind of schemed us up. And this is, as a former offensive lineman, there's a lot of things to kind of talk about here, but the main thing is to notice that they get penetration up front by design. A nose tackle shoots the gap. He shoots the A gap, which makes his Donovan Jackson kind of chases. And then the backside D tackle is kind of in a scraping mode. He scrapes over top, hits the running back in the backfield, and Harmon, who's a former Michigan State Spartan, transferred over to Oregon, makes a heck of a play and really just takes the ball away from our guy here.
It takes it away. I think they show a replay here. Yeah, it definitely seems like it's designed for him to take that inside. And there was a natural twist that they had planned. But man, taking the ball away, that's what compounds this play, right?
Yeah, man. I mean, and like I say, it's a great play by him. And defenses do this. It's kind of a gamble, right? Like you said, the D tackle that shoots the field, he doesn't make the play. And essentially, he really does not affect Junkins. All he really does is just kind of defines exactly where the ball has to go. Now, it has to go the place where he left. And as offensive lineman throws you off because most nose tackles, what are you doing? You're occupying space at the line of scrimmage, not trying to get blown out of there. So when you shoot a field like that, throws you off, right? And Donovan Jackson does a good job at, getting something on him to redirect him. But what he does do, I like that stop right there. You see his legs are into our right guard's leg, into Chager's legs.
Mm-hmm.
That right there allows him to not be able to kind of keep Harmon on his side of the scrimmage. They're not blowing him off the ball. And so since that natural rub happens between our offensive linemen and their legs, Harmon's able to scrape right on in and goes right for the ball.
Yeah, it almost feels like there's still, and I can't see the full picture here, but it almost feels like there's still space if Judkins was able to cut and really cut off Integra's right hip here. But I mean, with all his momentum already, it seems like it's too late. It's too late.
Yeah. That's like super slow mo.
Right.
Like, all the cussing. But like in the game, it's like, bro, I'm trying to get to the line of scrimmage, and then I could try to make a cut from there. And then with it being the backside D tackle, as a running back, you're just not expecting him to be there. Obviously, him being there is you're just not expecting it. And obviously, like I say, the D tackles, he was ball hungry here. It makes a play.
Yeah,
Which
and he
really,
tries to stop.
Go ahead.
No, he tries to stop and cut, and in the process, he gets the ball taken out of his hand.
Yeah. But kind of if you go back to the show, like what you say, Jim, like as a defense, what you gotta take the fight to them.
Yeah, you gotta punch him in the mouth.
Punch him in the mouth. This is a punch him in the mouth type of play here by Oregon. I mean, to the teeth, right? I mean,
yeah, this is a punch him in the mouth. This is something that they're good at, though. You saw it against Michigan State. They did a lot of twists inside. Michigan State's offensive line could not handle it. I didn't anticipate Ohio State being truly affected by it. But they did what they do, but they did it with a fight. Like, they did it full speed ahead. You mentioned it's a little bit of a gamble. Like, it could lead to an explosive run. All right, then do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the mentality. And, yeah, they just took the fight to the Buckeye.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's that. I mean, they made that play, and hence put their team in the game early. Like I say, it's like obviously first quarter, but a lot of things are going our way. We already got a score. We got our offense back out there. Boom, you get a turnover. All right, so we talk about Ohio State and their mistakes and it costing them a game. This right here is like the mistake of mistakes. Come down to becoming really a head scratcher. What is going on with our defense when you see something like this? This was first. I'm gonna give the guys a shout out from Z podcast when I first recognized them highlighting this play. But obviously, it's a minute 25 left. We're going into halftime. I believe Oregon gets the ball coming out at half, right? So
Ohio State gets it.
Ohio State gets the ball. Okay, so yeah, so I think Oregon gets it, but I don't know. It doesn't matter. But anyway, this leads to a big play. This leads to a touchdown, but it's really a huge mistake. We're gonna show this here, but we blitz two linebackers, but it's only a 2-man rush because only the linebacker blitz and our defensive line are playing zone coverage on no one, man. And this when you blitz and you got zero coverage, man to man everywhere else.
Everywhere, man, no deep safety.
No pressure on the quarterback equals trouble, right? We just play it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna play it and I'm gonna go back and kind of talk through probably what they were actually trying to do. Right? You see all these droppers? Got 3 defensive linemen who dropped. Yeah, a bunch of guys covering space. No pressure on Dylan Gabriel.
4. Look at the 4th one get back in coverage, man. He had to he was right under that over route.
and Denzel can't get there. Now, let me kind of go through this one time. So, typically if you're playing zero coverage, which is what this ends up being, right? Every defensive back is matched up on a receiver, right? There's 5 guys in coverage against 5 receivers, and it's cover 0. There's no deep middle field safeties. There's no half safety, none of that, right? So you're in zero coverage. And Oregon goes empty set. So this is the thing. If you're in zero coverage, which means you should have some guys blitzing the quarterback, right? Because you don't have the guys sitting back there and helping. So where are they, right? They're blitzing the quarterback. If the offense goes empty, they don't have enough guys to block, right? There's just not enough guys. There's no tight end. There's no running back there to block. So that means you're going to have a free rusher. You can overload either side, whatever. There's going to be a guy who's running free. And on 3rd down and long, and this is why I actually like zero blitzes on third and 9, because the rusher can get to the quarterback before the receivers can get to the sticks.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't have enough time for their routes to develop that far. The issue here is that, and what I imagine happened, is that they didn't get the call in, and if they did get the call in, with the defensive linemen who are dropping in coverage in this situation, both got the opposite call, right? Because what they really want to do is they want to send these linebackers who aren't in coverage on the blitz, right? They want to send all those guys who aren't in coverage on the blitz, and then they're likely expected to drop the 2 defensive ends, right? but the defensive ends are supposed to engage the offensive line first so that they feel them as rushers, and then they drop out just to kind of to cover all of these pick routes in the middle. Instead, you get 3 guys dropping.
4. You gotta wait. I think that we get a 4th up under there, man.
4 guys dropping and 2 rushers. Now, I know Denzel. He didn't have his greatest game, right? And there's gonna be a lot of criticism. He's gonna say that he has to be better on this play. Yeah. But when you're in a 0 blitz, okay, and the offense is running empty, if I'm the defensive back, I'm sitting at the sticks. I'm not going past the sticks. This route has to be run in front of me or at the sticks because it's 3rd and 9. If they run something deep, because it is college football, you can jam all over the field. I jam the receiver and then I chase. And I'm just going to play the hands, right? Because I know this. If it's a 0 blitz, quarterback doesn't have enough time to throw the ball. Receivers don't have enough time to make it to the sticks. If this happens where he does have enough time and there's 5 receivers getting out, I'll tell you this. The receivers who are running deep, they're going to be open. Let's look at the bottom. Both receivers are going to be open on this play.
Oh yeah, I mean, you can pause it back there. Like you can see the stands. Who was that? Caleb Downs is in. Like he can't deal with the deep route.
It's just not a favorable situation for the defensive back. Now, Denzel can be better, but this shouldn't happen. And what I really don't like, and I want to see if they show a replay of this because they don't show it. But they ran a similar play on a 2nd down earlier in the game. It was the same thing. What I don't like is that the guys who are blitzing aren't just lined up to blitz. The reason I say that is because as soon as they go empty, like I mentioned, they don't have enough to block it. So there's no point as a linebacker to sit back 4 or 5 yards because now you're just making it a longer trip for you to go hit the quarterback, right? They should all just line up on the line of scrimmage, right?
That's right.
Even if they're going to drop to a cover 2 or whatever, and you want to show blitz, just line up on the line of scrimmage because you're going to get to the quarterback before he can get the ball off. And this is the issue to me. Like all the disguise and all that stuff, like bro, like these guys are athletic, talented players, but let's not overcomplicate this. You line up on the line of scrimmage, you blitz these guys, you hit the quarterback. He's going to be on the ground, and those receivers won't even get to the yard line.
Yeah, right. And then let me talk about from the offensive lineman standpoint because many times you play this, like you say, it's empty, right? So it was only 5 of us. So now once you start thinking that maybe 6 is coming, or even if 5 is coming, you have to do things a little bit differently, right? So on a high school level, you might just point out a linebacker. Like, hey, if that linebacker come, he's ours, right? Is it like if he come, he's ours. If the other one come, he's on the quarterback. Or if it's NFL, NFL they try to make every play work. You say like, all right, I'm watching that linebacker. The line has this one. We taking maybe the backside linebacker in the protection, but if that front side linebacker comes, I'm gonna fall off this defensive end and get back inside because the guy inside tends to get there quicker than the guy on the edge, right? But even if we are running this, right? Let's say we run it correctly. Let's say like you think the defensive ends are dropping correctly. If the linebacker is at the line of scrimmage, I'm too slow. Like I can't do both.
Exactly.
Right? I cannot do both because he's at the line of scrimmage already. I cannot get back into the protection. So once I take that kick out, because I have to respect this defensive end, like I say, at this level, I got to respect that defensive end. Once I kick out, by the time I get back in, I maybe could chip this guy, but he's getting to the quarterback. Yeah, I'm no longer stopping him. All I could do was try to chip him and maybe hope something good happen from there. But like you say, like even in this case, we obviously messed it up. We dropped 4, but guy, who was that? Who was that? Is that Simon at the top? I mean, he's just too far away.
He's just too
literally
far.
Too far away for 3rd and 9, and we trying to run a blitz to get the quarterback out, get the ball out the quarterback hands. Just too far.
In the empty formation. Go back to 2011 Sugar Bowl. We play Arkansas. Solomon Thomas gets a pick on this same type of play, right? him and Cam Hayward engage they go forward like they're engaged the offensive lineman. The offensive lineman has to make a choice, right? He's gonna block the guy in front of him, boom. Free rushers. And then the quarterback tries to drop it off low because he sees a guy blitzing and he throws it right to the defensive end. That's essentially what they're doing here. But they just got to line up and go play ball, man. That's the biggest issue.
Like you said, we had the numbers. If the plan is to make them throw it fast, then you have to get to them fast.
Right.
If you don't get to them fast, it do not matter. And so, like I say, obviously they do this wrong, but even if they did it right, there's a good question that, the same thing could possibly happen just because, once again, our guy is 6 yards deep at the snap. We're disguising it.
Yeah.
And a situation, well, maybe we do not need to be disguising.
Can't do it.
Can't do it. So boom, we survived halftime, and actually it seems like we might have actually did some coaching, like we got a little bit better here. But I mean, this kind of brings us to a point on thirds down, and it's another empty set. So first third down, Oregon was able to make a play. Quarterback hit for a big gain. I don't know, 15, 16-yard reception. And now we got him at third and long again here. And guess what? They're empty. And guess what? We want to pressure. And guess what? The pressure gets on the line of scrimmage, and it looks completely different, man. Right?
They line up in it. And it is the thing. Caleb Downs in the middle. He's disguising right now, showing middle field safety. But they clearly had a plan for empty sets where they were going to line up in this kind of cover zero formation and play cover zero and drop the defensive ends to handle any of the pick, kind of pick plays. Or they were going to line up and show pressure and play cover two. That's the two things I saw for most of the part of the game. But the key thing in that is that they lined up. They lined up. It's 3rd and 8, bro. They can't beat. Sonny Styles is on the edge. He's the edge rusher. He's going to come free on this play. The receivers can't get to the sticks faster than Sonny Styles can get to the quarterback. It's just not possible. Boom. Now he's running for his life.
Running for his life. He gets, he's looking downfield, and obviously our defensive line is able to turn around, track him, get him down. We get to stop. But I think that's it just really shows the difference, man. Same thing as the play they scored a touchdown on. It's an empty set. We line up in it. We get our linebackers, the people that we send, we plan on blitzing, we send them. Our defensive ends does their job. They phantom rush, take a couple steps, fall off into coverage. But boom, we got pressure on the quarterback right away because once again, it's only 5 offensive linemen. They went empty.
They can't block it.
And we're showing 6. They can't block it. Can't do it.
They can't block it. And sometimes, man, I'm all for disguising coverage and not giving away what you're doing. It's 3rd and 8. The offense goes empty. They've already showed their hand. All right. At some point, it doesn't matter if they know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because they ain't got nothing. You've already built into this play that I'm gonna drop 2 defensive ends to handle all of the crossers. Right? You've already built a little bit of protection into this zero pressure. Boom. Trust what you're doing. Yeah. Trust your game plan and just let the guys play. And this is the first time I really think they really hit Dylan Gabriel. Maybe one other time on this same drive. But it was really coming out of halftime when they finally actually got to the quarterback.
Right. And then in the second half, I think we allowed 10 points in the second half. They had a good drive, right? They ended up getting that QB run off for a touchdown. And then obviously late they had a drive. We stopped them in a goal situation, and they had to kick a field goal. But I guess it's really just to show the difference, right? Yeah. I think we kind of talked about it before we hit recording. Now, let's say it's different. Let's say Oregon has a tight end on the wing, and they got a running back in the backfield, and we still want to show that pressure. Maybe you disguise it a little bit more because there's a chance that they could actually block all these guys, and our DBs need to be in position to make a play from there. But if they're empty and the plan is we put this in so we can make the quarterback sweat or get the ball out of his hand quick, you have to be quick. The whole thing is to be quick, and this is the best way to do it is to go ahead and go on that line of scrimmage and go. Look at Sonny Styles, man. I mean, you talk about him off the edge all the time, man. I think even if that offensive tackle wanted to block him on that
He
play,
couldn't.
he
He couldn't do
probably
it.
been struggling. Yeah,
He couldn't do it. He could not do it, man. And that's what we got to do. Line these guys up. Line guys like Sonny Styles up and let them go hit the quarterback. Because you fix a lot of coverage situations, a lot of coverage issues. If that defensive back knows, and 2.5 seconds, this ball is out. 2 seconds, this ball has to come out. Now we all on the attack. That's what we got to do, man.
That's what we got to do. All right, so boom, third down situation, 3rd-and-1. Our defense obviously needs to go off the field midpoint. If you stop them here, most likely you stop them from getting points, right? If you get a stop right in the situation, either you fake a punt or you actually punt them, try to punt them deep to make them drive the long field, and we have a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, their defense is expected to run. We got, I think, man-to-man in this situation. And I think they handled it well. Everybody's in position. Everybody got their coverage responsibility identified. Ebenolson is kind of looking back, so he gets a little bit run by that receiver, but he's still in solid position. He's still in decent position. I didn't think there was any reason for him to grab onto this guy. I don't know why he felt like he was beat, right? The guy's on top. But look, man, he's in position to go get his hand in there and make the play. He didn't need to grab. Make that guy make a play. Like, don't give him 15 yards. Make him catch it for 15, right?
Yeah, and that's why. Yeah, I mean, obviously, that was his 3rd quarter, and I said a little bit about coaches in the speech, like, is the guys fired up and not thinking, or are they flat and not thinking? Who knows here? But it's just a situation where you make a mistake because you're not thinking. Like, okay, he ran by me. That's okay. That was the route. You're a corner. Guys run by you all the time. Just turn around with them and then play the ball. See if they can make the throw, and then you play the ball. But when you grab, especially in a situation like this, obviously it's a no-brainer. They get the first down now.
You made a point. As corners, you get ran by all the time. Matter of fact, I expect the guys to be able to, get a step on me at some point. Matter of fact, I invited the step because I know that once I get my eyes on the receiver and he's looking back and I'm running full speed, I'm going to be faster than him. I'm going to be able to recover and get myself in position.
I get my step back right there, right?
He didn't have to do that. I'm not sure if he felt like he was beat or what, but you see a similar play later in the game where Hancock is in the same position and just kind of holds on. And I think fatigue is part of it in this case. Oregon's going to hurry up offense and different stuff, but it's just uncharacteristic type mistakes in this type of situation.
Yeah, and I mean, be frank, you can't have it. You can't have it. It's best. I mean, make them make the play. Don't give them the play.
Right? Don't give it to them.
4th quarter here, right? So everybody got their 4s up. It's going crazy in Eugene. We got the lead, right? So we're in a good spot. Yep. 4 minutes left in the game. We're up by 2. So obviously Oregon, they need to score, right? They're trying to score. And be honest, I mean, like we said before we even hit record on this, I mean, Oregon they do a good job. They call a good play here, especially in a tight situation like this. They do a good job at calling more of a pitch to their running back. But I guess, want to kind of show a better way to play this for our defense. What they're trying to do and what they actually do, and how it leads to them getting this first down here pretty easy for themselves here. So so go ahead, Chum.
Yeah, and one of my biggest pet peeves, and I've been tweeting every week, is that you don't sacrifice coverage for this guy or whatever you're supposed to execute on this play. So you have a tight end out wide in this situation. A tight end out wide typically is a high alert for motioning down and then cracking one of the inside players to try to get outside. And I think you could kind of tell Caleb Downs kind of expects that tight end to motion back inside, right? He lines up outside, but Caleb Downs is in the blitz. So right now they're showing like a cover 2. They're trying to hold their disguise, which is fine early in the down. Once this guy motions inside, all right, man, the disguise is over. Like you go line up, because in this situation, you're on high alert. Tight end motion down, it's likely going to be a crack. And if it's not, even if it's not, you want to get tight to your coverage once this guy releases, to make sure you can back hip him and clear through all of the mess. You don't want to get picked, right? So you're Lathan Ransom here. He's showing a 2 shell. He's showing cover 2. He's walking down. And, okay, this tight end comes in and cracks. Caleb Down goes on the blitz. Everything clears up, right? Everything clears up for Lathan Ransom to come up and make this play. But because he's so far back, right? Because he's so far back, now he's flat-footed. He's on his heels, and he can't even get to the ball carrier until they get to the stick.
Yeah, so rewind that a little bit more. I want to talk here a couple things on that. So, like you said, we got a guy motion in, and we're disguising it. But when it comes down to it, we're playing a man free defense. So everybody has man. We're gonna drop a safety to the middle of the field. He's gonna essentially go where the ball go. Right, quarterback looks to the left. He's gonna kind of float to the left. Look to the right. Float to the right. As he goes in, we does a good job. I think that's Sonny Styles on the edge.
Yep.
He plays this really well, right? Like I said, it's 36. We're trying to get after the quarterback. They call it toss. He steps right outside. He's like, hey, I'm not going to give up the edge. I'm going to keep everything inside of me, right? And typically, if you're playing man and your guy gets to blocking, right? Like it's not a playoff, right? Because your man blocking, right? You usually want to shoot your gun, right? You notice your guy's blocking, you shoot your gun. You got to kind of go fill in where he's at. So if the quarterback's in the pocket, he gets the blocking, you run and try to get to the quarterback, or you run to your man. And like we say here, if it was a crossing route, I mean, be honest, he'd been wide open if it was a crossing route, if it was a pass,
right?
Because Lathan doesn't really, he doesn't get down. He doesn't really get into the play, right? So they call the toss here. Sonny Styles did a great job at keeping it inside. But like you say, just based on us being just not close enough to the line of scrimmage with a guy here after the motion, trying to hold that disguise, what it looks like that we're seeing here. Oregon picks up a huge first down to keep their hopes alive in this game. And obviously we know how it ended.
Yeah, and this is a big first down because it's 3rd and 6, and they're still on their side of the field, and there's still 4 minutes left. So Oregon would have to make a decision if they get hit and stopped for, and now it's 4th and 5, 4th and 6. They got to make a decision. Do we go for it and just literally give up the game, or do we punt and try to get a stop and get another shot? So this is a huge 3rd down to get a stop at the end of the game. And this is one of my biggest pet peeves, and I understand the importance of disguise and cover, right? And not tipping your hat, not giving things away too early. But you can't sacrifice coverage for this. You can't sacrifice coverage for disguise. And you also got to anticipate and understand what happens when a tight end, or when you're in this type of situation. I feel like Caleb Downs kind of can feel and understand that this tight end is gonna motion back inside. So as a defensive back, I am eliminating things, right? That tight end is likely not going on some deep route, right? He's inside, he's in there, he's either going on over to the other side, or he's blocking. So I'm gonna go touch his hip, and in the meantime, that's gonna lead me right into making this play.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. These are the type of things that you work on practice. You simulate at practice so that it's just second nature. Right? It doesn't matter what Oregon is doing. They could do a bunch of shifts, motions, and stuff. Tight end motions from outside to inside. I come up, I get ready to touch the hip. He blocks. I come right off his hip and I go make a play. Like that's just football. It becomes football 1-on-1 for you. And those are the type of things, execution-wise, that was lacking, that really led to some of these types of plays where a big 3rd down and we needed to get a stop, and we don't get it.
I don't get it.